Attention, please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.
Right now, it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at Labara, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. Labara. Stay connected.
Vinzo. Battleborn.
Whatever your day holds, you need a breakfast that helps you get up and go. Up.
And go, go, go.
Up.
And go.
A delicious breakfast shake made with oats and milk. High in fibre, high in protein, high in calcium. Start right with Up and Go. The official breakfast partner of British Swimming. Find us in the cereal aisle.
Welcome to the London Olympic Aquatic Centre on the third night of finals of this British swimming selection trials for the Tokyo Olympics. Under 100 days now to go until Tokyo. Well, on the first 2 nights, we've had some fantastic swimming, some really good stuff. The top of the house is very, very healthy in British swimming at the moment. We've had 4 swimmers pre-selected for the Olympic team. Adam Peaty, Duncan Scott, Luke Greenbank and James Wilby. And then we've had 7 swimmers win their individual race and also done the consideration time. Freya Anderson, Kieran Bird, Amy Wilmot, Harriet West, James Guy, Kathleen Dawson and Molly Renshaw. And there's the schedule for this evening. Straight up into the men's 400 metres individual medley. And I wonder if we'll see maybe Max Litchfield adding his name to that list of swimmers being considered for Tokyo. Women's 200 fly, a couple of swimmers in that race certainly could make the team. Men's 100 metres freestyle sandwich right in the middle of this evening. That is going to be an absolute firecracker. Duncan Scott, I think, should win it, but who knows what's going to happen after that. That one's going to be a wonderful race. 7:21, that one goes off. Women's 400 metres freestyle, 7:29. Holly Hibbett looking for the time to get her ticket to Tokyo. And then men's 200 metres breaststroke. Another one of our pre-selected swimmers goes in that, James Wilby. And we'll be going head-to-head against Ross Murdoch, the British record holder. So 4 pre-selected so far. 7 other swimmers have won their race underneath the consideration time, so put themselves in a wonderful position to be selected for this British team. And then 3 others in coming runner-up, coming second in their race, also beats the consideration time. Joe Litchfield on the 200 medley, Cassie Wilde on the 100 backstroke. Interestingly there, Georgia Davis also went under the consideration time as a 3rd swimmer. Only 2 allowed per country at the Olympics, of course, in swimming. And then Abby Woods, 200 breaststroke. What a swim that was. So in total, 4 pre-selected, 7 won their race in under the consideration time, and another 3 runners-up in under the consideration time. So British swimming could, I suppose, if they wanted to, on the Monday, after first 2 days of this meet, select the 4 plus the 7 is 11, and then maybe add 3 more to make 14. Total British team for Tokyo. Britain allowed to take up to 35 swimmers by the British Olympic Association. And well, I have to say, the standard time set, the consideration time set by British swimming are brutal, but we are having a fantastic amount of swimmers make it. Really exciting. And we could certainly have at least 1 and maybe 2 or 3 in the first event, the men's 400 medley. British record holder Max Litchfield will be going as the fastest seed into the final. And he was just outside of the qualification standard this morning. Swam a good solid heat. Jackson O'Rourke leading them out, the slowest qualifier for this final, swimming the 400, the 8 and the 1500 here, and the 400 medley. That's a programme. William Riley of Bath University doing a similar programme, the 400 free, the 800 free, the 400 AM. He'll be in lane 7. And then Brodie Williams, Bath National Centre, now coached by Joel Fink. Just moved to the National Centre right when the pandemic started. So he was able to be one of those elite swimmers who was able to train through the pandemic and has really benefited from that. Jacob Greenow of Bath University goes in 5. Now Max Litchfield, the British record holder, a super professional, a real role model for his team. His work ethic is just phenomenal. He was 4th at the Rio Olympics in this 400 medley. And next to him, his teammate, young Charlie Hutchison. Well, what an experience this is going to be, right next to his teammate Max Litchfield. And he can just watch, see how he does it, really try and chase him if he can. He's got a chance of making it, and certainly this gentleman has. Mark Sharanek of the University of Stirling. Well, his lifetime best, I think, would be good enough to make it on. Actually, his lifetime best is 4:13.7. And 4:13.4 is the cut, so he's got to really swim the swim of his life. Angus Allison of Warrender Bath Club finishes this lineup 7th fastest. So Litchfield in the centre, but really first, second, third could come from anywhere. Sharanek's really good. Hutchinson, the young pretender, in 3. He can do something. Litchfield, I'm expecting him to really rattle the Olympic qualification standard. I hope he does it. At the Rio Olympics in 2016, Great Britain won 1 gold. That was Adam Peaty. 5 silver medals. But we also had 4 4th places. So close we were to more medals. And one of those 4th places was Max Litchfield there with that pink suit of the Loughborough National Centre. Back from really bad shoulder injury and back on great form up in lane 4. The first final on the third night of the British Swimming Selection Trials for the Tokyo Olympics. It's the 400 medley for men. And the time they're looking for, well, it's a really quick one, 4 minutes 13.47. And if a swimmer does exactly that, they will be ranked world ranked number 9. World ranked number 9, just to make the qualification standard. That's a tough one, but it's working for British swimming at the moment. They're setting tough times, and anyone who gets on the plane to Tokyo knows full well that they've got a cracking chance of making the final. It changes the mindset considerably. Looking good down this first 100 metres, Litchfield in 4. Also going well at the top there, and that white hat is Sharanik up in 2. Maybe in 6 as well. Brodie Williams going with them, and the black hat's closer to us, and Brodie's backstroke is very good. So I would imagine at the halfway turn, Brodie may well be in the lead. No doubt about the leader, though, after the first 100 metres of this 400 medley. Litchfield over first, Williams second, Greenell third. And they've really got to push this first 200 metres, but maybe use the arms a little bit more, because the breaststroke really is brutal on the legs on that third 100 metres. I also know that Max Litchfield's been working on his freestyle, working on the finishing of the event, because he feels he can get really well through the fly, the back and the breast, and if he can do a super freestyle leg as well, that should take him home to underneath the qualification standard. So Litchfield leading. Second, as expected now, Brodie Williams. Well, Litchfield, I have to say, he's gone off quickly. I was thinking that Brodie Williams might be ahead on this turn. And Litchfield looking very good indeed. The silver medalist from the European Championships in Glasgow in 2018. Just 1 second outside the consideration time set by British swimming in the heats this morning. And he looks really good, 2:03. Goodness me, 2:03 for the third swimmer. That was Jacob Greenell, 2 minutes, 0.56. Now he's got to go to his legs and really push it. This breaststroke leg is brutal. And doesn't he look good? Litchfield in the centre in that pink suit. And if he can keep this going, he will be on the plane to Tokyo, I'm sure. The selection meeting is on Monday. So the 5 days of this selection meet finish on Sunday, and then the selectors meet on Monday to choose the first swimmers to be selected. And then there are other meets. There's 4 other meets this time, 4 or 5 other meets that the swimmers can go to in order to be considered for selection, finishing in a selection meet up in Glasgow in May. Look at this, Brodie Williams looking really good, having a go at Max Litchfield, the British record holder right in the centre. Oh, this is going to be tight, you know. 4:13.47 is the time that they'll be looking for with 100 metres to go. So, he's going to have to come back in a 60.3. That's a tough ask on the end of a 400 metres individual medley, but he can do it. And Max Litchfield, this is the bit that he's been working on in training. And the coaches and the coaching pod all pushing him forward. They know how important this is. He's got to win the race, and he's also got to do it in a time. And Brodie Williams has not been dropped at all, and looks like Brodie Williams is having a crack as well. Litchfield over first, a tired turn that, but that was okay. That 50 was 30 seconds, so he can still do it here. And Max Litchfield is being pushed by Brodie Williams in 6 from the Bath National Centre. Litchfield, the British record holder, in 4. And it looks like he's going to hold on as he's got about 15 metres to go, but coming back still is Brodie Williams. What a swim this is from Williams. Litchfield trying to hold on. He's got about 5 metres to go. The time they're looking for, 4:13.47. He wins it, 4:12.67. The first 2 swimmers underneath the consideration time. Oh, that's great. That is great to see. The relief is palpable. But what a swim from Brodie Williams. Wow. Litchfield wins the race, wins the trial in underneath the consideration time. So barring any miracles, he's going to be on the plane to Tokyo. And who's to say that Brodie Williams won't go with him? What a swim. Well, another couple of metres and Williams would have had that. Litchfield was hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Look at that, though, the qualification time, 4:13.47, and the top 2 guys have done it. Great swimming from them. Litchfield wins it, Brodie Williams second, Shranik in third for 17:44, just outside of his best. Wow, what a race. Well, I was hoping, I have to say, hoping to goodness that Litchfield would do the time, but Brodie Williams as well. Well, the top of the house is looking really, really good here. Those are two fantastic swims. I can't wait to hear what the two of them have got to say. Hopefully Jazz will be having a chat with them in a second. So 4:12.6, that places Max Litchfield as the 5th fastest in the world this year. And 4:12.95 puts Brodie Williams as 6th, 5th and 6th fastest in the world this year. Oh, I'm so pleased for Max. Just missed out on the 200 medley qualification. His brother beat him onto the team there. Duncan Scott, of course, winning the race in 1:55.9, a massive British record that was. Two brothers surely going to be selected for the British team. Well, that was really quite special. I'm still trying to get over it. So Max Litchfield, he really went for it. The 100 fly leg, very good. Pushed the backstroke. Tried to save his legs a little bit because that breaststroke leg was so tough on the legs. And then, well, he's been working on the freestyle, working on the finishing. He must have gone under 60 seconds for that final leg. A great final swim it was. Looked so tired down the last 15, and Brodie Williams was charging. Well, it'll be really interesting to see, one, if he's got any breath to speak to Jazz, and two, what he has to say, because that was a super swim, but I can't believe he's not just booked his place on the Olympic team fairly shortly. And Jazz now talking to the winner, Max Litchfield.
Max, a gutsy swim, and you're pushed to those very last meters by Brodie, both under the consideration time. You must be delighted.
Yeah, really, really happy with that. You know, I would have liked it to be a little bit quicker, but it's under the consideration time. I'm really pleased for Brodie too. He deserves that. He's done an awesome swim there.
And Max, 4th place in Rio. What are your goals heading into this year? That must be a huge motivation for you.
Yeah, obviously Rio I was over the moon with 4th, but you know, this time I want to go at least one better and get into those medals. So, you know, I'll have to be a bit quicker than that, but you know, it's only April, we've got time. So.
And congratulations, Max. We loved watching you, and we can't wait to see what you can do this year. Well
Thanks,
done.
Chaz. Cheers.
Well, world rank number 5. He's taking it very much in his stride, isn't he? Very laid back. Would like to have gone a little bit faster. Well, I love that, that reaction, and I'm sure he will do. The team, well, the first selection, of course, will be on Monday. There's plenty of time still for others to make the team. Brodie Williams, what a swim that was. Well, the first race over, the second race, the women's 200 fly, and that's going to be a right old scrap as well, I think, because here there's probably 3 or 4 swimmers who believe they can win this. This is going to be fascinating. Women's 200 fly, Alice Thomas will start as the favourite. But from Aberdeen Performance, the slowest seed in this final is Yvonne Brown, swimming the 100 and the 200 metres butterfly here. She goes in lane 8, and then in 7, Nikki Miller. Now, Nikki Miller, in this session, is doing the 400 metres freestyle as well as this 200 fly, and it's the next women's race. What a double, 200 fly and then 400 free. Oh. Kiana McInnes, the world junior bronze medalist on this 200 fly, was 4th on the 100, set a new Scottish record on that. I wonder if she'll have a crack at the Scottish record held by Hannah Miley in this, the 200. And if she gets it, she'll give herself a great chance of going to Tokyo. Laura Stevens swam a really good 100, second in it, just outside the consideration time, but was a World Championship finalist in 2019 And if she can get close to her best, she will book a ticket. Commonwealth champion in 4. Was only 3rd on the 100. But her lifetime best of 2:05.4, well inside the 2:08 that is being asked of these women in this 200 fly. Emily Large, the world junior champion 4 years ago, was also 4th on the 100, 5th here on the 100, 59.0. And Chiara Schlossen, silver medalist at the European Junior Championships 3 years ago. And then Sophie Freemuth of Plymouth Leander, 100 and 200 fly, 100 and 200 back at these British swimming selection trials. It's so hard to call this one. Really, the winner, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it's really tough to call. It should be in the centre, Alice Thomas, if she's able to repeat her lifetime best that time that she won the Commonwealth Games and on the Gold Coast 3 years ago. That was a super swim there for Wales. Thomas in the centre, but she's surrounded by people who believe they can get on the plane. McInnes in 6, Stevens in 5, Thomas in 4, Large in 3, Schlossen in 2. Final of the women's 200 fly. And as Thomas in the centre, starting in as favourites in that black hat, and a good start from her. One lane down from her is the silver hat of Plymouth Leander, and that is Laura Stevens, who swam a great lifetime best on the individual 100 metres butterfly to come 2nd, and just 100ths outside of the qualification standard on that 100. Starting off very quickly, though. In 6 is Kiana McInnes of the University of Stirling. Well, she broke the Scottish record on the 100, is clearly in great form. Her lifetime best is 2:09.88. So she'd need a 1.5 second lifetime best in order to make the qualification standard, but she's giving herself a chance here. Kiana McInnes closest to us of those 4 in the centre. Then it's Stevens in the silver hat of Plymouth. Then it's Alice Thomas, possibly going to touch first in 4. Is it Thomas? It's Emily Large in 3. Large over first, Thomas 2nd. Thomas very good underwater as well. And now 3 and 4, Emily Large and Alice Thomas trying to make a move at that 125 mark. Just 1 length to go at this turn in the final of the women's 200 metres butterfly. Harriet Jones won the 100 metres butterfly in a time underneath the consideration time, so I'm sure she'll be going to Tokyo. What a great swim that was. And 2nd in that race is the silver hat, currently in 3rd position with 50 metres to go, Laura Stevens of Plymouth. And it looks like Alice Thomas now starting to move away a little bit. Is she from Emily Large in the centre? Laura Stevens looking good as well, but it's still Alice Thomas. Thomas starting to tire. She's got about 10 metres to go. And coming back is Kiana McInnes of University of Stirling in 6. It's going to be a really tight finish. It looks like it may well be Thomas. It is. Thomas wins it, 2:08.09. That's underneath the qualification standard. And the 2nd swimmer just outside it. Oh, Kiana McInnes, 2:08.86. Well, that's a full 2nd lifetime best and just outside of the qualification time. Oh, that's so close. And also just outside the Scottish record. Still held by Hannah Miley. So Alice Thomas wins the women's 200 metres butterfly in a time below the consideration standard that British Swimming have set to be considered for the team, 2:08.09. 2nd, Kiana McInnes, a massive lifetime best, a full 2nd underneath her best. And with a good couple of months still time able to qualify, who knows, she could well make it. Laura Stevens in 3rd, Emily Large in 4th. So hard to call that one, wasn't it? A tough race, women's 200 fly, that. Really hard. So Harriet Jones won the 100. Alice Thomas just won the 200. Both inside the qualification standard. Really good swimming. And that's 2:08.09. To 8:09 places her 10th fastest in the world this year on the women's 200 fly. Alice Thomas, good swim. Well, she's still a little bit outside her best, so there's plenty to come for Alice. Won the Commonwealth Games 3 years ago in 2:05, and I have to say it's been very, very tough with all the COVID restrictions on training. Lots of time when big blocks of work had to be cancelled. So it'll be really interesting to see what Alice Thomas has to say to Jazz Carling. I think Jazz Carling now is talking to Alice Thomas.
Alice, we can see how much it means to you. You swam that race with so much composure. You must be over the moon to be under that consideration time for Tokyo.
Yeah, it took a while just to look at the thing and just realise that was me and my lane, and that was me that did it. And I don't know, the last couple of years have just been so up and down and overwhelming at some points. And I don't know, I'm just so glad that I actually did it. I believed in myself today, and I got the time that I wanted.
Yeah, you're here. It's taken you a bit longer, but obviously you've come to that time, and for the Olympics it's taken you a bit longer. But to be here and to be under that time with all your family watching at home, it just must mean the world to you.
Yeah, I think it means the world to me. It means the world to all my friends and family watching at home as well. I'm sure I've had a couple of messages ping, but I've just been ignoring my phone, so I'm sorry to everyone that I haven't replied to. I'll get back to you today.
And what would you say to some of those athletes that I guess might look to walk away from the sport because they think they're not improving, but you've proven that the longevity in sport and you can do it at any age? What would you tell to all those athletes?
Obviously it's really hard at the moment with lack of access, and it's just been really hard just to keep motivation and stuff, but you just got to keep at it, you just got to keep going, and ultimately if you want to be sort of at the top and competing at international meets and stuff, you just got to keep going and you just got to keep at it.
Well, we're all over the moon for you. Congratulations for getting under that time, and we're just so pleased for you, so well done.
Thank you so much.
A great interview. Fantastic to see the emotion. Must be wonderful to win the race underneath the consideration time, and almost certainly booking her slot in the British team to Tokyo. And, well, Welsh women's butterfly swimming, very strong indeed. Harriet Jones won the 100 metres butterfly. Now Alice Thomas winning the 200. Well, speaking of strong swimming, this one is going to be an absolute firecracker. I've got to say, I've been enormously impressed with the depth on this 100 metres freestyle. 49.7 is the slowest seed going into this final, but we had 4 swimmers on 48 seconds. Now here's the slowest guy, and he's not slow at all. Swam a lifetime best to make this final. Yusuke Lagarde of Wickham District. Now Cam Kerr, he looked really good in the heats. University of Stirling, European gold medalist on the 4x2 free relay, and he looked super. So, I mean, he could certainly get top 4. Don't forget, we'll go on relays if they decide to take a men's 4x100 free relay. Joe Litchfield, well, talking about on fire, 5 races, 5 lifetime bests so far, including this one in the heats this morning when he went 48.9. Next to him will be Tom Dean. He's also a lifetime best machine here at these trials. Lifetime best on his 400 freestyle by a long way, and then again this morning by a full second, 48.53 to qualify. And he's going to be next to Duncan Scott, the British record holder, the World Championship bronze medalist on the 200 metres freestyle. Won the Commonwealth Games and beat the Olympic champion 3 years ago in his own house. Kyle Chalmers. In 3, Matt Richards, European junior gold medalist on the 100 metres freestyle from the Bath National Centre. Now he certainly could be up there He also swam a lifetime best, 48.7 to qualify, as did this young man, 16 years of age, 49.3 he swam in the heats. 49.3 at 16, Jacob Whittle. Look after him, he's good. He goes in lane number 2. And Jack Thorpe of Edinburgh University held the Scottish record on the 50 metres freestyle. Goes out really well. I wouldn't be too surprised if he's right up there, certainly at the 50. And then let's see if he can hold on. This is going to be fascinating. If I was a betting man, I'd certainly stick my house on Duncan Scott to win it. But after that, I've got to say, I have no idea where 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are going to go. Absolutely no idea. It's stacked full of fantastic, I was going to say kids, young men who are getting better and better every single day to qualify. Lifetime best in 2, in 3, in 5, in 6, in 7, in 8. Out to the heats this morning. That is Duncan Scott. Can he go under 48 seconds? 48.19 was his heat this morning. The final of the men's 100 metres freestyle, right in the centre, Duncan Scott of the University of Stirling. And he looks very good down this first 25 metres. I know he's got to get out fast if he's going to do a good one. He swam a brilliant 200 medley, 155.9 to win that. One of the best times in history. And he's looking good down this first 50. I think he'd like to get under 23 if he can. 23.16, maybe a little bit slower than he was hoping for, but he's so quick down this second 50. Going very well with him is Tom Dean in the pink suit, 1 lane closer to us. But look at this from Duncan Scott down this second 25. Goodness me, this is really quick. Matt Richards also going with him in 3. Scott at the moment, Richards second, maybe third is Dean. Litchfield's there too. Scott gets it. The time is 47.87. Exactly the same time as his British record, 47.8. Wow. Well, he went out a little bit slower, but came back like a train. 47.87 wins it. 48.23 from Matt Richards second. Tom Dean third, 48.51. New lifetime best for him as well. Certainly is for Richards. And then Jacob Whittle of Daventio was 4th, the 16-year-old, 48.76. Set a lifetime best to qualify at 49.3. He just won 48.7. Litchfield 5th, 48.8. Well, I can also say the great news for Team Great Britain is that even though that team did qualify, if they decided to swim the meet, the relay in Tokyo, Great Britain set a very tough qualification standard. They basically had to average 48.5 if they wanted to send the team. And the first guy, well, it helps when Duncan Scott goes 47.8, certainly, if you're out trying to average 48.5. 47.8 won it, 48.2 second, 48.5 was third, and 48.7 was fourth. So they're going to be well under. I'm not sure they were thinking about sending a men's 4x100 metres freestyle relay, but now the selectors are going to have a real headache. Lovely problem to have. Litchfield 5th. Lagarde 6th, Curl 7th, Jack Thorpe 8th, 47.8. Wow. Well, 47.8 is the 3rd fastest time in the world this year. The top 4 times were held by Russians from their trials until Duncan Scott just broke in the centre of them. Kolesnikov went 47.3. Minikov 47.5. And then Grinev 47.89. So Duncan Scott's 47.87, just inside that, 3rd fastest in the world. And 48.2 from Matthew Richards will place him in 8th place. Wow. So let's hear what the men have to say, talking to Jazz Carling.
Duncan, equaling your best time and the British record in a stacked field, you must be happy to come away with a win there.
Yeah, quite a bit slower than what I was wanting, in all honesty. You know, it's great, obviously, to equal my PB, but with how I swam on the first day, I was feeling pretty good, and I thought I'd go a wee bit quicker, but, you know, obviously that's just the way it was today. And, you know, I'm just delighted for the other boys. I know there's some fast times in there, and it's good to see some of the British boys coming through and swimming fast. So I think it was 4:48, or, well, 47 and 3:48. So, no, it was really good field. Some other really quick swims, but, yeah, a little disappointed.
Obviously, we've seen you with a busy programme this week. On top of all the relays, that's going to have you a really busy programme in Tokyo.
Yeah, don't worry, Jazz, I trained for it. Yeah, it's like day in, week out, whatever it is. You know, I look forward to challenging myself, and we prepare for these back-to-backs and doubles. And, you know, it is a long schedule. It is going to be tough, but, you know, I do train for it, so I'm ready for it.
Good, we can't wait to watch it. And Matt, also under consideration time, you swam that race again. So relaxed for someone of your age and racing against in what was such a stacked field. You've made the move to Bath now. It seems to really be paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was trying to keep up with this guy here, but no, you know, I can't thank the team I've got around me enough. Like everyone at Bath, everyone at Royal, my mum, my dad, my grandparents, you know, all my family, all that. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations, boys. That was one of the best 100 free finals I've ever watched in the UK. We loved watching you and can't wait to watch the rest of the week.
Cheers.
Cheers, Jazz.
Well, the future of British sprint swimming is amazing. Look at that. Duncan Scott's only 23 years of age. Feels like he's been around forever, and he just gets better and better. And to be disappointed with a 47.8, a new British record, well, tied his British record, third fastest in the world. And then to have the 18-year-old Matt Richards coming second, Tom Dean, the youngster, third, and the 16-year-old Jacob Whittle fourth. Wow. I really hope they take that team, because the experience that those guys would get, certainly in Tokyo, they would have a chance of medals, I think. But for 2024, gracious me. So straight into the next final, the women's 400 metres freestyle. And Betsy Wizard of Northampton, the slowest seed in lane number 8. In 7, Nikki Miller of East Kilbride. She's just swum the 200 metres butterfly. She's now going to do 400 freestyle. That's amazing. Here's Slevin in 6, European Junior silver medalist in that women's 4x200 metres freestyle relay. There's actually 3 of the 4 from that European Juniors silver medal 4x2 free relay in this race. Slevin in 6, and then Tamara van Selm in 3, and Freya Colbert in 2. Leah Crisp, the winner of the 800 metres freestyle from the Bath National Centre. She goes in lane 5. And then Holly Hibbett, Commonwealth Games silver medalist in this, the 400 metres freestyle, 10th at the World Championships. She's got a shot at this qualification stand. I'd have to say, of all the races and all the swimmers, COVID, I think, has probably affected the distance guys the most. It's really tough not to have those big blocks of work to make sure your base endurance, your base fitness is there. So I really hope that they give these swimmers a decent chance to go to further meets, and if they can have another couple of months of work, they've got a much better chance maybe of qualifying up until that selection meet in Glasgow, which I think is going to be held in May. So the start list for this women's 400 metres freestyle confirms Holly Hibbett as the fastest seed, next to her teammate Leah Crisp in 4 and 5. Tamara van Selm of Millfield having a good meet in 3. And 2, 3 and 6 were on that women's 4x200 metres freestyle relay that won a European Junior silver. Emma Russell, the 4th member of that team. So the time they're looking for, 4 minutes 5.96. God, 4:05. The final of the women's 400 metres freestyle. Best start quite clearly in the centre, coming from the favourite Holly Hibbett, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist. And Holly seems to have been around forever. She's still really young. It's amazing to see her still going. Oh, she's got a long career still to go, I have to say, if she wants to. And she looks really good. Well, she's just going to have to go for it from the start. She is on her lifetime best. She is a decent way ahead of the rest of this field. So if she's going to do the time of 4:05.96, she's going to have to really, really go for it. Her lifetime best is quicker than it, 4:05.0. But without as much training as she would normally expect to have done because of the COVID breaks, that's going to make it a little bit more tough. So Holly Hibbett will be first to turn at the 100 metres. The time 60.02. Crisp second, Wizard third, Slevin fourth. Well, she's going to have to do it all on her own quite clearly. 60 flat for the first 100 metres. And Jazz Carlin is on poolside doing the interviews. She is the Welsh record holder in this event and set it when she won that Olympic silver in Rio 5 years ago. I was just about to say 4 years ago. 5 years ago, 4:01.23, 4 minutes 1. The British record still held by the great Joe Jackson, set back in Rome 2009. 12 years ago. Goodness me. Well, she is going for it, Holly Hibbett. This is a gutsy swim. It's going to be tough to do it all on her own. There are no spectators here in this pool, so there is no atmosphere at all. She's just going to have to keep on grinding. 60 seconds for the first 100. What was that? 62.8. She needs to pick it up a little bit. She's going to have to negative split, I think, if she's going to do the qualification standard. That would be 2:05.6, so she can do even pace. If she can even pace it exactly, she has a chance. You can just see the coaches in the background there just waving her on. All of them. They've all got their own little spot in that coach's cage. Socially distanced, but they are allowed on the poolside, but they've got to stand on their spot and see if they can wave their swimmers on. There it is, just in the background now, look. And Holly's really giving this a go. 60 seconds for the first 100 metres, 62.8 for the second. And she's working hard down this third 100. The final of the women's 400 metres freestyle. She'll have 2 links to go at this turn. She looks really good, I have to say. So is she going to give herself a chance? Well, she is going to give herself a chance. She's going to got to come back in a 60.7. That's really hard. She was out in 60 flat from a dive, so she's got to go 60.7 for a final 100. It is possible. It certainly is possible. And if anyone can do it, this young lady can. She's tough as nails, but it's going to be so hard. Holly Hibbett, all on her own, must be about 12 metres ahead of the rest of the field. Leah Crisp coming in second, the winner of the 800 metres freestyle, currently lying in second, but 50 metres to go now. And 3:36.5, so she's got to come back in a 29.4. She can do that. It's going to be tight, but she can do that. Come on, Holly. If she can do this time, that would be something really special. She's got about 20 metres to go now. Come on, Holly, dig in. The time 4:05.96 that she's looking for. She's absolutely burning here. 4:05.96. Come on, Holly. Oh, just outside, I think, 4:07.0. What a gutsy swim. All on her own. And just 1 second outside of the consideration time. Well, she won the race, but I'm sure with another month or 2 of work, go up to Glasgow in May, I'm pretty sure she can go 4:05.96. That was a great swim with not enough training, really. I mean, that's such a hard ask for a 400 metres freestyle. So Holly Hibbett winning the British Swimming Selection Trials for the women's 400 metres freestyle. 4:07.03, just 1 second outside of the qualification standard the British swimming have set. Leah Crisp second, Tamara Van Selm third. Oh, that is really tough. And I can tell you 4:07.0 actually ranks her world rank number 10 at the moment, but it's outside the qualification standard. That's how tough they are. Still, of course, many countries still to have their trials. But 10th ranked in the world at the moment. And it's a second outside the qualification standard. It was an impressive swim, I have to say. I didn't think she'd be able to go that fast off the training that she's no doubt been able to have. So it was an impressive swim. And let's hope with another month and a half, 2 months or so of work that she can do the qualification standard over that time. The only swimmer underneath 4 minutes this year is Katie Ledecky. I think only 3 have done it in history. 3:59.2, the great Katie Ledecky. She's going to have a battle in Tokyo. Ariana Titmus, the Australian, can't wait to see that one. Well, a really good swim. Tough as that was. 400 meters freestyle, all on her own. And let's hear what she has to say. I hope she's pleased with that, because I think it was a really impressive swim. Jazz now talking to the winner of the 400 freestyle, Holly Hibbett.
Holly, a real gutsy swim. You had to pace that out on your own, just over the consideration time, but a really solid swim there.
Yeah, obviously I'm a bit disappointed with that. You know, I felt like I was in the good enough shape to come here and do the time. So I am disappointed with it.
We obviously know you're a racer. We've seen you in some really tough battles, including myself. Obviously, it would have been a completely different race with everyone out there, but you gave it a really good go. You've made the move to Bath now. Can you tell us how that move's been for you?
Yeah, I'm obviously like one of the people that I do love race, but I'm really enjoying my move to Bath. I think it's been a really positive move for me, and that's probably one of the fastest I've been since Europeans 2 years ago. So I've got to take the positives, I guess, out of it.
Lots of positives to take away with that. We loved watching you race. Congratulations on a great swim. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I'm pleased she's relatively happy with that. I mean, of course, it must be very difficult to go and swim 400 metres freestyle as quick as that, 10th ranked in the world, and still not make the qualification standard. But it's set pretty evenly across all of the races to make sure that the swimmers, when they do go to Tokyo, are expecting to make certainly semi-finals and probably finals. And I still think with a couple of weeks of extra work, maybe another half a block of training, Holly Hibbett will be able to do that qualification time. It was probably a very good preparation. If she can get on the European team, she can go to Budapest for the European Championships. Hopefully there'll be other swimmers that can go head-to-head with her, and they can drag her along to the qualification time. That, I think, would be a really great way of doing it. I'm pretty confident she can. Well, straight into the next race, and it's the men's 200 metres breaststroke. And we've got Ross Murdoch, who's not yet qualified for this Olympic team, the British record holder on this 200 breaststroke, against James Wilby, who was pre-selected because of winning that World Championship medal in Guangzhou on the 100 metres breaststroke, won the silver, of course, to Adam Peaty's gold. And Great Britain won 2 on the 100 metres breaststroke. Well, when you can only send 2 per nation to the Olympic Games and you've got the fastest and second fastest in the world, it's pretty tough, because Ross Murdoch is very well world ranked on the 100, just outside of his Scottish record, and has actually been a World Championship medalist on the 100 metres breaststroke. So Tobermory Mackay champion of Oxford in lane number 8. Harvey Freeman of Northampton in 7. Greg Butler of the Loughborough National Centre goes in lane number 6. In 5, it's James Wilby. And here, Ross Murdoch. Well, I think he's in great shape, Ross Murdoch. Just needs to make sure that he swims the race correctly, and I think he's going to go well under 209.0, the qualification standard set by British Swimming. Adam Chillingworth in 3 of Plymouth Leander. Kyle Booth of City of Cardiff in 2. Was 8th on the 100 metres breaststroke here. There's a lifetime best of 2:12.4. If you can get close to that, that would be great to see. And then his teammates in 1, Bradley Newman, also of the City of Cardiff. There he is. So The big men right in the centre. Ross Murdoch of the University of Stirling. And I think it's really going to be a head-to-head. Murdoch in 4, the Commonwealth champion from Glasgow 2014 against the Commonwealth champion 2018, James Wilby, where he won on the Gold Coast. Wilby's already on the plane. Interesting, he's been selected for the team, but hasn't been selected for an event because they didn't want to close off the 100 metres breaststroke. And for good reason. Ross Murdoch's 100 breaststroke was very good indeed. Wilby did get second to PT on the 100. But this could be a really interesting race. The Scottish and British record holder, Ross Murdoch, in lane number 4. And James Wilby in 5. I hope they push each other really hard. The target time, 2:09.05. If they can both go 1-2 and the target time, they should get Ross Murdoch on the plane to join pre-selected Wilby. A little bit of a judder on the start, but a very good start indeed for Ross Murdoch in the centre. And actually the swimmer's allowed to go further than 15 metres underwater on the start of breaststroke, on the turns as well. And good luck if you can do it. It's an awful long way, but Murdoch's head came up right on the 15-metre mark. And while Murdoch's looking good down this first 50 metres, but going out in the lead at the moment is James Wilby. So tough to train for the 100 and the 200 metres breaststroke, two very different strokes. And this 200 metres breaststroke, and if you watch Adam Peaty, he's just so powerful, really quick around, just drives it, no pause at all. Whereas here, look at this from Wilby, a lovely, long, languid stroke. It's actually a little bit quicker than we've seen his stroke tempo before. And let's hope that Ross Murdoch doesn't panic, goes with him a little bit, holds that long, efficient stroke so that he can really bring it back down the second 100. Very quick indeed from Wilby, 60.8 at the turn. That is lightning. I wonder if he's trying to be a paceman for Murdoch. He's gone up really quickly. First to turn was Wilby, second was Murdoch, 62.3. A good-looking swim from him so far. And if he can hold on to his stroke here, he's got a great chance of going 2:09. He's got to go pretty much, what, 62, 67, something like that, Murdoch. 62, 66 and a half. Wilby still in the lead. And now by about 2 metres from in second place, Ross Murdoch. And Murdoch's still going well in second. Now, if you can hold on to this stroke, keep it long, keep it efficient. Don't go too short. Keep it long, keep driving. This is really good for Murdoch, and it looks like Murdoch's starting to catch Wilby. He had a little bit of clear water between his feet and Ross Murdoch at that turn, and Murdoch coming back. Come on, Ross Murdoch. Wilby's already on the British team. He's leading. He's going to win this 200 metres breaststroke trial, but the time they're looking for, 2:09.05, and they've both done it. Oh, that's fantastic news. Wilby done it 2:08.06. And Ross Murdoch in second place, 2:08.98. Just 7/100ths of a second inside the consideration time. And the important words there, inside. Well done, sir. What a swim, perfectly timed. Went for it in the heats this morning, Murdoch, and he went 2:09.9. And he's just gone 2:08.9 and has ducked under the consideration standard. Well done. Oh, that's fantastic. So James Wilby, well, pre-selected second on the 100 metres in a brilliant 58 points on that 100 to Adam Peaty, wins the 200. He's certainly going already pre-selected for Tokyo, but Ross Murdoch just given himself a sensational chance of being selected on this 200 underneath the standard. And hard to see another swimmer going 2:08.9. Oh, that's a super swim. Well, still a little bit off the British record. 2:08.0 was the winner. The British record 2:07.3 is Ross Murdoch's British record, but that was a great swim. Two great swims. Wilby really went for it. 60 point at the 100. That must have really hurt. Paid for it a little bit down that last 25, but turning at 60.8 on 100 metres breaststroke. Goodness me. That's extraordinary. Well, he's certainly in great shape, will be. That has to give him massive confidence for the Olympics. It must do. Turning 60.8, looking really comfortable and really strong. Still manages to go 2:08 and drags Ross Murdoch through to a qualification standard. I can see a massive smile on Ross's face as well. Oh, that's great to see. He's trying to escape the clutches of Jazz Carlin, but he's not going to get away with that one, I'm sure of that. Oh, that's super news. So hopefully the two boys, James Wilby and Ross Murdoch, can have a chat with our Olympic silver medalist, Jazz Carling.
James, we know you've come in pre-selected for Tokyo, but it must be a nice feeling to come away with two strong swims, both in the 100 and 200 breaststroke this week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being pre-selected is obviously pretty nice, a little safety net, and but that didn't kind of take away from the fact that coming here, you know, a couple of months out from the summer, I really wanted to kind of put some fast swims in and kind of set myself up for, you know, going forward towards the games.
Loughborough National Centre seems on fire this meet. You must be a great feeling seeing all your teammates swimming so well. What has been going on for the past 12 months? Can you talk us through your training?
I don't know, really. It's a bit of a dream team at the moment. You know, I'm really happy with my own swims, but, you know, then I watch like the stream or, you know, people doing their swims here, and I'm like, wow, you know, that's a pretty special group of people I get to be with around every single day, and yeah, it just kind of pushes me on to kind of maintain my place in that group, because, yeah, it's fast.
It's great having good people around you, but heading in to the Olympics, is the focus the 100 and the 200? They're both going to be the focus this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, you know, I've done slightly better on the world stage on the 100 meters in the past couple of years, but yeah, the 200 is kind of my event which I always seem to kind of struggle to get my hand over. And so, yeah, I'm always focusing on both, or trying to, and sometimes one goes better than the other, but yeah, going forward to the games, it's definitely going to be 50-50, balancing them both and seeing if I can get a good result on both of them when it comes to the summer.
Well, that's great to hear. Congratulations on a great swim. Also, Ross Murdoch being able to qualify too. It must be great having the two of you. Welcome in, Ross. Just dipped under that consideration time. Another strong swim. It must be a great feeling to obviously get into that consideration time for your second Olympics.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with that. I was quite hard this morning. I was almost all in this morning, but that was one of the plans that we've had coming into this, is to try and push the heats and get a good adaptation for the evening. Bit of learning, and that's what we got, and a good consolidation tonight, about a second faster, and yeah, I'm absolutely delighted.
I said it with Loughborough, they're having a great competition here, but Stirling also are. It must be great having your teammates with you, driving you forward onto Tokyo.
Yeah, I think Stirling's had a great championship so far. You know, the backstroke girls, they've been absolutely outstanding, and Kiana McInnes tonight was absolutely outstanding as well. You know, just missing out by half a second, but what a surprising swim that was, and fantastic.
Well, congratulations on a great swim. We loved watching you both race, and congratulations on a great meet.
Thank you very much.
Well, two very happy gentlemen, and so they should be. I'm not sure that James Wilby's actually rested that much, so that's a really good swim, and he's 58 on his 100. He just looks superb. Well, what a night of swimming that has been. Really quite amazing. And delighted to say that we've had quite a few swimmers this evening adding their names in the pot for consideration for the Olympic team. The qualification rules are you either have to win your final in underneath the qualification standard, or if you come second, you've got to make sure that you get under it as well. And we've had Max Litchfield win in a correct time. Alice Thomas, she also won the 200 fly in under the qualification time. And then Brody Williams and Ross Murdoch also. So there's tomorrow's heats. And look at this. The sprinters are in the water. That's going to be really exciting. It'll be great to see those women 100 metres freestylers. And then we've got the men's 50, the splash and dash. That's going to be fabulous. Women's 200 backstroke. Kathleen Dawson is absolutely on fire. No idea what she can do there. Men's 100 fly. Well, James Guy again going in that. Qualified on the 200. Can he add the 100 as well? So important, of course, for that medley relay. And then the women's 200 medley, and Abby Wood, I believe, is still world ranked #1 in the women's 200 medley. That's going to be quite a morning. It starts off at 10 o'clock, so set your alarms if you're if you're prone to sleeping in. But really enjoyed today's swimming, some fantastic stuff, and let's hope that we can add a whole load more names for consideration for the British Olympic team for Tokyo. See you morning at 10 o'clock.